All right, so let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. Hmm. Waiting for Aisha to come back. Hey, 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 thanks for coming back. Just waiting for Aisha to come on in so we can finish our conversation. And then we're definitely going to talk about her experience with protesting in Philly. All right. Hey. I better keep it quiet. Hey, Chica. Let me add you onto this live. You gotta send me the request though. Let me see if I can do it. Okay, never mind. All right, she is coming on now, y'all.
Hey,
She
yeah, I
got.
had to come out and go back in. It wasn't let me request the first time.
Yeah, I had to share it. Hopefully, it shared the first one, and then I had to come back because I don't
Okay.
know what's going on. I don't know how this all works, but we getting there. All right, so you were saying how they told you they did not want you to go international. So I want to touch on that part as far as when an agency tells you basically what they want you to do versus what you want to do. Meaning, I know that you come into an agency, and I think agencies have a certain idea of what they want for you.
Right.
But I think it's very important to find out what not only the model wants for her career, but also like come together to say, okay, we want you in fashion, but we know that you want to be international or whatever. International fashion, whatever you want to call it. Hey, Fajan. And I think it's very important for y'all to come to an agreement on how this can work out. And if it's not working out, know when to part ways. But also talking about your goals. Because I know there's been times where I went out for a job or because I did my own, I was with agency and I still did my own thing because I felt like they weren't going hard enough for me as a model. So I think it's very important it depends on what kind of model you want to be. You might want to be a model that sits back and just books jobs when they send it. Mm-hmm. And that's it, because it's like a hobby for you, not really like something serious.
Right.
Versus a model that's like, okay, what I want to do is I want to actually have it where I'm serious about this. I'm going hard and I need you to go hard too. And that's to the point where I got when I was in my modeling career. I was like, I know, like in the beginning, of course, there was times where you're like, okay, I'm new. I need to know what this is. I need to know what to do. And that's when you take the free stuff because you really don't know, like trade,
right?
In other words, because you really don't know what you're doing. I didn't know what I was doing when I first started modeling. You automatically knew that when you got the first job at 17 or 18 that, oh, this is fun. I like it.
It's not so much that I automatically knew. It's just gratefully for me, a lot of it came naturally. And then, like I said, my first job, the set director and the casting director was my cousin. So she was able to kind of walk me through just being myself. Like literally when she used to see me growing up, even when we used to like bump into her in the street, she, I think, was one of the first people that used to always tell me like, you should model. You should model. You should model. So when she got her clothing line, it was just like hand in hand. She plucked me right there and was like, nah, do this. And then it was actually really interesting because one of the main photos that she used, the male model that I was with, he booked the Gucci campaign off of our photo.
Yeah.
I'm in college, like, and here I am going to school. like he booked the whole Gucci campaign. So it was just like, cool. It was interesting. His name was Igor, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His name was Igor. But it was just, all of it was just fun, you know? So I knew I wanted more of that. Like, I was meeting cool people that were from all over. Like, there was a Spanish girl, Russian kid. And then, like, of course, my cousins from Antigua. Like, we were all just so diverse. And I was like, that was my first modeling experience. And I was like, I want more of that. Because that was just such a fun day. And then I get to my agency, and they're like, well, we want you in this. Like, I don't know if you've ever, I don't even know if you saw the first photo that they saw me in, I was modeling for Thomas LeVon. So yeah, we did know each other at the time. I was modeling for Thomas LeVon, and
that's
my
buddy.
head was pretty much shaved, right? Like, my head was pretty much shaved. I had on this like black lace dress. That was the photo that they found me on. So I'm shaved. I'm a bald model. I was still doing like the androgynous thing, still low key modeling like the male clothing lines. And here they come like, oh, we want to sign you, but you need to grow your hair. Yeah, we want to sign you, but you need to lose about 20 pounds. You need to get your measurements here. And I'm just like, all right, like, I already knew I was playing around with the weight anyway. Like, I knew when I got signed, like, my weight was larger than it was supposed to be, but I was still fit. So I always used to just cheat it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they want you a size 2, 3, but my size 6, 7 ass used to still walk in there like, I'm fit though. I look good. Like, I'll make it work. So it was like, when they told me, so I'm like working on my body, I'm getting back into shape. But the problem when I was trying to like grow my hair, they had issues with my skin. And like, even with my skin now, it's the same issue. It's like this thing here. That agency could not stand this part of my face. And I'm like, y'all saying it like it's on your face. Like, this is me. I gotta walk around with it every day. I hate it too. But they were like, you need to fix this before we can send you for anything beauty. And you need to just, and it's like, don't make me feel like shit about my skin. Like, I honestly don't know what this is. Like, I already told you, my diet is healthy as hell. Now, I know dairy causes a lot of flare-ups with this. Like, that I had to figure out. So when I do mess around and have dairy, this will flare up on me.
I learned something new. I didn't know that.
Well, here's the fun part. Everybody is allergic to dairy. Like, you'll get those people like, I'm lactose intolerant. Everybody is allergic to dairy. Humans are disgusting. That's just what it is. We are the only mammals that drink the milk of other mammals. You don't see goats voluntarily walking up to a cow drinking their milk, or vice versa. We're the only ones that was like, I want goat's milk, I want cow's milk. Like, we're the only ones going up trying to milk everything, all down to nuts. I want almond milk. Like, but like, humans weren't supposed to eat.
I eat dairy though.
I do too.
I love me some cheese.
No, so do I. That's why I can't be vegan, because I still like cheese. But technically, none of us are supposed to be having dairy. Like, that's why you stop having, like, look at every other mammal. We're the only ones that still drink it past infancy. Every other mammal, they're breastfeeding and they stop past infancy. They're not still going into adulthood. We pass our mom's breast and then we're like, well, I still want milk. Give me some of the cows. Like, we're still drinking it when we're already past the stage. Milk is for infants. You stop once you get your protein and go on to other things. But we're humans. We find ways to complicate life, complicate our bodies, and still enjoy it. Like,
I wonder if I stop dairy, if that might help.
With what?
I have a lot of breakouts at times. Like, a little
hot stuff too.
Forming dark marks, and it gets on my nerves. So I'm trying to get rid of them. And then somebody told me to use Omni, but I'm using it. It has not done anything. It hasn't done nothing in the past, and it still ain't doing nothing now.
Omni is weird for me. Like, I don't use the soaps. I use like the little cream, and then I spot treat with the cream.
That's what I use.
But the cream on my skin lightens up the area around the mark. So I have to be like careful with it, because it won't even lighten up the mark. It'll lighten up the space around it. So I have to be careful with that. I use aloe and shea butter. Like, it takes longer, but it still heals. You know what I mean?
What do you do? Do you have a like, do you use fresh and then you turn it into something? Meaning
a little of both. Yeah, a little of both. So like with the aloe, I'll just cut like a leaf, and I literally do that whole thing in the shower. Look at you. Look at you. So I'll try a little wedge, but I do it in the shower. No, I do it in the shower. So I do like a whole little body thing in the shower, so that way I can be silky smooth when I wash it all off. And then depending on what I have blended at the time, like sometimes if it's if it's like right now it's summertime and it's already melted, it's coconut oil because the heat is already melting the oil. So I'll just dip a little coconut oil. That's my moisturizer for the day. But also because it's summertime, that's why I use the aloe in the shower. Sometimes I just don't want to put oil on. Like I'm already hot. I don't want any butter on. I don't want any oil on, but I still want to be soft. And then like the shea butters. Yeah, the shea butters, I actually like mixing those. Those are fun. So it's like I mix like a shea butter, cocoa butter, kapuasu butter type of thing, and I'll blend them all together with essential oils and make little things for me and my family. Because I like what the butters do to my skin. Like I think my skin is crazy soft. So
that's what I need. You gotta give me your recipe.
I got you, because
even with those dry.
things, I got you. Like it's so good for the skin, but it's also good for the scarring. Like it heals. All those like healthy amino fatty acids in those butters, like they're good for the skin. It has all types of vitamin A, vitamin E, and then I add extra vitamin E. Like I try to put all the good stuff in there to make sure that I'm keeping my skin pretty fair and even, especially since I work in the sun. Like I want to make sure I'm protecting her, you know?
Yeah, and I'm always doing my walks, and as you can see, I got like a nice little tan.
No, I'm getting golden.
So,
So
that's something I have to work on. And I just started putting suntan lotion on, and because I was like, let me put suntan lotion.
Tan or screen?
I mean, not suntan, sunscreen. Bam.
Now here's what I'm gonna say, because I noticed. No, I'm gonna say this, and I hope you're not one of them. Black girls, please, please, do not buy bronzer. I know.
Oh no.
No, but listen. So many girls, when they buy sunscreen, fuck up, because they're so used to all of our products coming in the brown bottle. You know how when you want the black product, you automatically zoom to the brown bottle because it's always gold or bronze or something, because it's like that's how you know it's for black girls. That's not the case with sunscreen. Like when you see the brown bronze bottle, that's bronzer. You don't need that.
Yeah, I have that up there. I save it for like if somebody of a lighter skin tone comes over my house, I'll get
they normally want it. They do ask for it. Like, do you have bronzer? And it's like, why would I have that? Here's why
I have it because it came in like a swag bag. So that's how that happened. But I was like, why would I put a bronzer on? I already have like
here's the thing.
My beautiful
People forget that sunscreen is super oily. Do you see how much sheen you get with sunscreen? You're basting yourself with your protectant. You don't need it. Bronzer is the biggest scam ever. And every time I see people buy it, I laugh. And it was like, I get dark as hell using sunscreen. And my sunscreen is SPF.
Somebody said it's so white. I can't.
Who said what?
Lock It Down said it's so white. So to use bronzer, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see no bronzer.
But it's just like, you don't need it. Even with sunscreen is a bronzer. You don't need it because it's oiling your skin. It doesn't block the sun. Like people act like sunscreen stops the sun. It stops UVA and UVB rays. The sun is still going to tan you with sunscreen on. You're stopping UVB rays.
You can use shea butter instead of sunscreen. That's actually a form of sunscreen. And it says it on the bottles.
I was reading it. I was reading it, and I'm trying to look into it and see how I feel about it for myself, because I would prefer the natural SPFs compared to because right now I'm still using Neutrogena because I don't know what else to use. There is a black girl sunscreen brand. I can't remember the name of it, but she is a black, she has a black line, but her SPF only goes as high as 30. And that's what kind of bothers me too, because you have fair skinned black girls like me that need a higher SPF. I can't stop at 30. Like I will still burn with the 30 SPF. So it's like, I still have to use other brands that have that higher SPF in it. I don't like peeling. I don't like sunburn. It is not fun. I don't care for it. I love the sun. So,
I've never had that issue.
Yeah, I have. It's not pleasant. Because it's like my nose peels the most too. It's so nasty.
Yeah, I don't have those issues. Like I said, I haven't been using any lotion. Well, I use like regular lotion in the morning, but I know that that's something that I need to do more of, only because because my skin feels so dry all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, I'm out. I shouldn't have dry skin. Like,
not at all. Not at all.
All right, so let's get into your protesting experience.
Yes.
Because I would love to know how that went, like the atmosphere, just any and everything. How'd you even find out about it? Let's start there.
Just like with anything, nowadays everything is on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is on social media, and you have to kind of do your cross-referencing research to figure out it's just like with modeling. You have to figure out what's legit from what isn't, what's going to be safe from you from what isn't. Like, I cross-reference. I try to figure out who else is going to be there, where it's going to be, how safe I feel in that area. And it's just me as a person. The first type of protest that I really got into was, I did not realize that happened. I'm sorry. Okay. The first one that I got into was a few years ago, right? When, it was during Trump's elections, like the women's march and things.
Okay.
And I remember going down for that. Actually, I feel like I was in stuff sooner than that, but it's jogging my mind right now. Anyway, as an adult, the ones that I'm remembering, it was particularly for that. And I just remember having mixed emotions about that protest, because if you remember, it was the women's march, and it was pretty much like women against Trump. But at the same time, the women that were there were women that voted for Trump. So it was a whole mixed emotion of that. Yeah. It was pretty much like a guilt type of thing. Like, we sucked. We shouldn't have put him back in office. We're sorry. It was like, he's already there. So what difference does this march make? Like, I remember being in the middle of that march and kind of like leaving it, because I was like, you know what? I don't like the people that I'm marching with, because this is like a double standard. But it was like,
not to cut you off, how did you find out that they were people that voted for him?
Because a lot of them were still kind of like, they kind of said it, you know, like when you're in the middle of those groups, people are still talking. That's how you're meeting new people. You're talking to people. You're catching a vibe because you meet strangers for a unified cause, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they said it. They were like, you know, we voted for him because he said he wouldn't take these liberties away. And he said that he stood for these type of actions or what have you. And it's like, you can look at that man and see he's a liar. You can look at that man and tell that everything that he's ever done is dishonest. And even when he is honest, he is disturbing. Nothing honest out of his mouth is kind towards other people. How do you vote for someone that's monstrous towards? The man said, "Grab her by the pussy."
You know what? I have not seen. I've not seen, but I haven't really seen or heard much of anything that he does. Because I feel like everything that comes out is just ignorant. I feel like I'm watching something
like
of
over
ignorant.
the years, I've learned to I tune him out. Like, I turn it off. I was like, someone is going to fill me in on the ignorance later. I don't have to hear from his voice because I already know it's nonsense. But when we were first exposed, we had to later learn, you got to cut him off. You know, when we were first exposed, we're just hearing this shit. Like, I know they're not going to vote for him. Look at what he just said. There's no way in hell they're going to vote for him. Like, look at how he's talking. Then when they vote for him, you really have to look at everybody like, are y'all serious? Is this what you just did? And then we're still living through the aftermath of such a destructive decision. And you just have to look again, all your peers, like, you're going to do it again, aren't you? Can we make sure that this doesn't happen again? Look at where we are right now. This can't happen again.
Yeah, exactly.
But they were out there feeling guilty, which is why they even wanted the march. It was like, we are former Trump supporters against him now. It's like, but it's your fault that we're here in the first place. Yeah. Now, fast forward to BLM, to the more important cause right now.
Black Lives Matter.
Right. That one, that issue has been an issue ongoing. I feel like I've been involved in that online since maybe 2015, 2016. Like, I have been involved in that for quite some time. So when it became an option of being more physically active, I was like, you know what? I'm in it. Like, I remember seeing a bunch, you know how you watch the civil rights protests growing up. Like, you sit there and, like, I used to think in class, like, I wonder what I would do if I had to protest right now. Like, I remember sitting in class going, if I had to do like a racial protest right now, like, would I be brave enough to do that? Like, they're getting bitten by dogs. They're getting hit with bullets. Like, they're getting hit with hoses. Would I be brave enough to stand in the front line and do that? Would I be brave enough to sit still and get spit on? And I would sit in my seat and sit there and be like, I would hope the answer is yes. But then a small part of me was like, I would punch them in the face. Like, a small part of me was like, I'm not like, peace with my ass. Like, I'm going to fight. And then I had to sit there as an adult and ask myself, what type of protester are you? Because my girl in DC, she described it perfectly. She was like, you got the MLKs in the day and the March, you got your Malcolm X's at night. Like where do you fall in there? Like everybody has their role.
So what's the difference?
Protest.
What's the
You
difference?
have your peaceful versus your more militant. Like the peaceful ones, we come out in the day. The peaceful protesters, we're there with our signs. We have our megaphones and we're giving you names and causes and actions and things we want to see done. And then we pack up our shit and go home. But then in the middle of that transition, you get the more militant ones like, hey, yo, did you not hear what the fuck they said? Black lives matter. You're not listening. Like they start knocking shit over. Like, you're not listening to us. I leave before they come because I don't like licks from anybody. I realize I'm brave, but I don't want you to hit me because I don't know. It's like you said, once you're put in a situation, you don't know what level that's going to bring out of you. And sometimes I've seen some of my uglier levels. I don't want to find out what it is in that situation because we're going to be fighting to the depths out there. Yeah. We're going to be fighting to the depths. Like they were fighting, like they're doing the most. They were like they had no regard for human life, and we're literally saying, "Hey, police brutality sucks ass. Can you not do what you're planning on doing right now? Like we're watching you bring in the trucks to do to us what we said we don't want you to do anymore." So once my mom taught me at a very young age, pay attention to your surroundings, be very, very vigilant. Yeah. So I go when it's peaceful, and I'm like, things seem to be shifting. You know what? I'm gonna go home. Like, I'm like that looks like they just brought in another arm. That looks like an armored car. Like those look like police officers circling this area. I'm going to go home. Like you have to pay attention. So even with the very first protest that I went to for us, that first Saturday, where I think the rioting started, like it started at the art museum, one of the most peaceful protests ever. To the point where
is that the art museum? Is that near Moore?
I keep forgetting you're not from the city. Yes. Right. So if you remember when we modeled at Barnes Foundation, it's like Caddy Corner, like in that area, right around that area. So that protest was around there. Yeah. That protest was around there, and it was like marching from the art museum to City Hall. So it was like you had two different ones going on, and then they were just intersecting in the middle, like going back and forth with megaphones, shouting our messages, everything. So I kind of lingered by the art museum just because I already knew in the city, I don't want to be in an area where I can't see or run away. I'm still very nervous in large crowds, and that's not like too many Black people thing, because you know how you have your fears in any type of large crowd. You have your fears in a large Black crowd, you have your fears in a large white crowd. Like I don't like crowds. I don't like people infringing on my space. I need to be able to find an exit and be near it. You know what I mean? And that's any situation that I go, like that I put myself in. I need to be near an exit. So it's like the Center City protest, I was like, that's too much. I already witnessed that with the Women's March, and I was like, that was way too many people on me, where I didn't feel like I could get out if I needed to. Art Museum was spaced all the way out. Like, the Art Museum protest initially was just so peaceful to the point where it was kind of boring. Like, you're sitting there like, all right, man. Like, you're looking at people riding by on their bikes, halfway paying attention, halfway listening, halfway not. Going home, I'm hearing certain remarks that, like, made me really side-eye people, especially with what happened later. Like, my experience, I'll explain. Because my experience, I'm walking home, right? And I'm calling my sister, and while I'm on the phone, I'm just hearing things from some people there, and unfortunately, they were white people there, and they're just like, is this it? So I'm kind of like ear hustling, like, the fuck you mean, is this it? Like, it's a peaceful protest. Like, what did you expect to happen? And like, I mean, it's happening, but it's like nothing going on. Like, I thought it would be more than this. So I'm hearing that, and it's in my ear, and I'm like, what do they expect to happen at a peaceful protest? Like, that's how it was announced. Peaceful protest at the art museum. A couple of blocks later, walking back to my car, I hear another group. More white people. I mean, this is kind of boring, right? Like, is something else going to happen? What the fuck do people expect to happen at this protest? Now, mind you, I left around 4 o'clock. I get to my car around 4:15 because I'm walking back to where I parked. I get home by 4:30, chilling, thinking it's a regular day, you know, quarantine style. We're getting used to our new life. That was like my first big outing and like a big setting. but because it was so spaced out, I was comfortable with it. I get home at 4:30 and I'm hearing about a riot by the art museum. Ain't no riot down there. I was just down there.
Wow.
And then I'm looking and I'm like, who started that?
She said, who started that?
Because I'm like, when I was down there, it was boring as fuck. That's why I left. Because it was boring. But it's a peaceful protest.
Yeah. That's the point.
When it got super violent, super rowdy, and that's when the boom started for the first time, I get to dig in with the research because I'm like, I know what I heard from two separate parties walking to my car. They didn't think it was exciting enough. Then I'm looking at other cities and I'm hearing the same things. Our protests were peaceful, and now they're not. Now they're riots. Who's starting the riots? And it made me mad because I'm like, did I really walk by a rioter? Did I hear them legit start it? Because that's what it sounded like.
Wow.
That's what it sounded like. And then you have the stigma that came along with the rioting once it became a racial divide, you know? Like, this era is very interesting for us because it's literally stuff that we watched on the news. We watched all this civil rights stuff, and now we're living through it. And you have to legit ask yourself, who are you in this time? A rioter, I am not.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do. Like, I'm too old for that. It's never been something about me. Like, I can't go and smash up somebody's property.
That's stuff that they worked hard for.
But here's the thing. Am I gonna condemn you for doing it? No, because I'm just as mad as you are. It's like, I actually wrote about it on my Facebook, and I need to like start blogging again. Like, I wrote about it on my Facebook. I was like, as much as I used to clown Generation Z, they're the ones that we needed right now during this type of protest, because they literally do not care. As much as it sucks to say about them, they have zero fucks to give. And that is what we need on the front lines, because they don't care. They will waste money to prove a point. They will use their bodies as a sacrifice to prove a point. Like, the way that they bought out that Trump rally that was supposed to happen, they legit bought out all the seats just so it could be empty. I don't have money to waste like that. But they sitting there buying 8 to 10 tickets at a time just so it was empty.
Which rally was this?
He tried to have a rally on Juneteenth, and then once he realized it was Juneteenth, he had to move it to the 20th. But it was a rally in Tulsa, I think.
Okay.
If I have it right. And it was just like everything about it.
Only a certain amount of people showed up.
Huh?
Yeah, I heard that only like maybe not even 6,000 people showed up for that.
Not even. But they all bought the tickets. So he swore his event was sold out. Stadium packed, seats full, and he got in there. Cricket. Nobody's in there. They have money to waste. They're hitting them where it hurts, his ego. You know what I mean? Like, they have the time, energy, and money to do it. Me, I'm a millennial. I got bills to pay, but I commend you. I'm right there. You know what I mean? And it's like, you got to do what you got to do. They are the ones. I'm trying to think of what else. They're the ones doing all the little TikTok tutorials. Now, TikTok has its little scandals and things going on now, too. But they're the ones doing the tutorials like, it's not hard to fight racism. I don't know why it's taking you so long. I don't know why millennials have to scream so loud at you, but this is what we're going to do coming up. Like, they have the little swipes with their messages and shit on TikTok. It's like, go ahead. I am not mad
I didn't get on TikTok, so I don't know. Girl, you filling me in.
No, I just watch the videos that post. Like, some of the popular ones actually make it to my feed, and I have no problem sharing it because I'm like, look at them caring. Look at them showing you what you need to do. The one girl posted her family, and I was like, y'all pray for her, because she really did just put her family on blast for being low-key racist. Like, she's having a whole argument with her mom and dad and is recording the whole thing so they can listen to what you're saying. She's like, listen to yourselves. Listen to what you're saying. Black lives matter because it does. All lives, like, she's going into the difference of Black lives and all lives. And her parents just sound just as, as ignorant as the rest of them do when they try to justify all lives without actually saying Black lives. And I'm like, that is a brave 15 to 16-year-old soul, because you still have to rely on mom and dad. You still under their roof. Like, you're fucking racist. It's like, what if they kick you out, boo? But at the same time, I commend you. Like, this generation, I'm not mad at it. And there was no way in hell, like, when I said I was young, wondering what I would do if I was in the situation, I'm in the situation.
Yeah.
Girl, you wondered. Now you know the answer. I've joined so many committees since this has started. just getting more involved, trying to get my voice back out there. Like my friends from high school and I, we're trying to get this alumni thing popping. It's so much. And at the same time, I'm made for it, you know? Like I feel like I've literally been preparing for this my entire life, just with my grade school experience, the little mini battles I was fighting in high school alone. Like I had to fight to wear a Black History Month pin. Like I had to fight to wear a pin. They told me it wasn't a part of the uniform. And I was like, okay, neither is that death metal pin on her backpack. Like, the fuck you talking about? So it's like little things that I didn't realize I was low-key being an advocate for at 13, 14 years old that just extended into adulthood.
Yeah.
Like you don't think of yourself as an advocate, as an ally, or even as like a defender or a protester when you're in the middle of doing these things. You're just doing them because it's right. Well, I can't speak for anyone else. I'm just doing them because it's right. I'm not thinking of myself as like an activist. It wasn't until recently when I realized, because I'm like putting my little planner together of how many different meetings I have, and I haven't been this busy since I was in school. So I'm like, damn, look at my life right now. And then I'm looking at what the topics are and what I'm doing. And I'm like, if I write down my titles right now, I'm a whole adult. Like it sounds really funny to say it that way. Yeah. But like think of your own titles too. Like really think of them and be like, how have I jumped into adulthood this vastly without appreciating that I jumped into adulthood? It's like I'm a model, I'm a writer, I'm a business, like I'm an entrepreneur, like I'm doing all these different things. I'm an activist, like I'm all these different things. I'm like, when did all these titles get attached to my name? You know, like think of yours, like you're a model, you're a writer, you're a mother. Like you have all these titles where you're like,
a lot going on over here.
Right? It's like, when did these jump on me to make me a full-fledged adult? But then it's like, since I am one, own that shit and be one that's accountable. Own that shit and just like trying to make this world a better place. And if that means and even then, like I said, I've always been doing it for different causes. It's just the causes are going to be more pronounced in their time. Like I've been fighting for animal rights for as long as I can remember. Like I remember in 3rd grade, we wanted to save the rainforest. So we raised all this money to donate to a cause to save the rainforest. You know what I mean? Like I've literally been doing these things my entire life, but never thought about it in terms of what it was. So now that I have the terms, I'm like, well, look at me. Okay. But you still just keep going, you know? Like it's interesting. Life is interesting as an adult, especially in 2020.
I have to agree with that, because I think on top of like everything you said, as far as like the process that you have gone through, the journey you have gone through from the time you were young till now, is all leading up to where you are now. Put it that way. So the fact that you did protesting not too long ago, the fact that 2 times, if not more, whatever you can remember.
Right, because even with the stuff that was younger,
different reasons.
Right.
Like it's a lot. We go through that journey. I tell people all the time, the journey that you go through is all it is to get you where you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be it. So even what you're going through right now, guess what? You're going to be something totally different 5 years from now.
Tell me about it.
Like, smarter, wiser, so
it's
much
all
more
in the making now. Absolutely.
So you might be
all in the works now.
And on top of that, you might be doing a little bit more different protesting by that time.
Hopefully not. Hopefully
we
have a little more peace, a little more unity. Ciao. But yeah, just a second.
We'll see, because even did you see the video with the guy, and he was with the older adult and they were with a younger child? So the guy, I think the boy was 16. The guy was I believe it went viral. He was like maybe in his 30s, and the older gentleman was 40, and everybody was Black. And the young boy was out there because the older man, he was just angry, like very upset, like, I'm just tired of this. I'm ready to tear everything down. I don't care. And then the younger guy, he pulls the young guy to the side. He's talking to the older guy, and he's saying to the older guy, he was like, but like, why do you think that it's okay to tear up stuff? Why do this? Why do that? But in a way. And then he's going to the other guy, because I guess he was telling him, like, go loot, go do this, go do that. So he's speaking to the young man, and he's saying to him, and he got so emotional, because he's just like, he's been doing this. He's angry. I'm doing this now. I'm angry. You're out here, and you're 16. Like, y'all got to do something better, because we've been trying it, and it's not working.
Right.
And he put that out there, but it was just so powerful. I'm gonna post it on my page again.
No, because I know what video you're talking about. Like, I know that one, and then the other one there was a different video where there was a guy from a few years ago, and we made it a whole meme and used to laugh at it. But the fact that it's circulating now, it was like this meme hits differently. Like that's even how the meme gets circulated, because it was like the one where he was like, to this day, like when we all use it, like we all say it. He goes, to this day. But it started off with this one video, like it was this one black brother, and he was just so passionate about what he was talking about. Because like the one, it was two black guys talking. So one was a reporter, and then was the one guy, and the reporter, he did say something a little like condescending. And he was like, kind of like, so why do you feel this way? Like, what's your struggle? And the guy was like, hey, yo, don't talk to me like that. Like, don't act like you don't know what this is. Like, you know how black people have that double talk, like where we have that look, like, you know. But he was like, don't come at me like you don't know what I'm talking about. Like, don't come at me like you don't understand this struggle. Like, this isn't a new struggle. This is a 400-year struggle. Like, he went into it dumb deep, where, to be completely honest, he was just more woke at the time than the rest of the world was ready to be. Like, even with more people that are on his mission, the same mission now, myself included, we all laugh like, damn, brother, I feel you, but it's not that deep right now. Where technically it should have been. We should have been that angry with him at that time. We should have been that angry with him in the 60s, in 19. We should have been that angry from the beginning.
Excuse me, young man.
But either way, right. But either way, he was like, to this day. And we made it a whole meme. Like, we'll use it, cracking up on
you gotta send me that. You gotta send it to me.
Right, I will. So we laughed at it, but now with the current climate, somebody recirculated it and put it back out, and we're like, yo, everybody that laughed prior was like, this shit hits totally different right now. Like, nothing was funny. Like, nothing was funny. You had to sit there like, yo, he was really waiting for us then, and we turned him into a meme. Like, but it is what it is. Like, people grow and come in their own time, and right now this is the time.
And I think exactly what you said, as far as I think taking things a little bit more seriously and not always taking it as a joke is important, because you don't know when that time comes where it's going to mean something.
True.
And I think a lot of people don't understand. Like me, I know a mechanism of mine is laughter.
I was about to say, because I was like, I'm guilty of cracking a joke. Like, if something is too serious, I'm going to make light of it so I can be in the moment. Because if I'm too anxious about whatever's going on, it's not going to go well. I have to break my own anxiety. So half the time when I'm cracking jokes, it's not even to make everybody laugh. I'm trying to just break my own shit. Like, I gotta loosen up in this.
Same here. So I think it's very important to basically be able to, like I said, take things seriously when it comes down to certain things, because some people may not find what you find funny.
That part.
A lot, especially nowadays, like having a conversation about racism, about Black Lives Matter, about protesting, about a little bit of everything. I know for me, I've had conversations with people, and their whole thing was, okay, I'm the type of person where I'm here for protesting. I cannot be out there, but I'm gonna help in a different way.
That's what I'm saying. We all have our roles, and you don't have to fill every position. You know what I mean? Like, some people are actively protesting. Some people are rioting. Some people are making the phone calls, calling all the you need to
some people are donating
and do that.
Some people are donating.
Exactly.
Giving money to help.
I've been doing that too, and that's where I'm like the worst when it comes to self-promotion and marketing. Like, when it comes to my Gilded Gems, like jewelry line, every sale so far, a percentage has been going towards like a Black Lives Matter cause. So it's like, I've been putting together like little funds. Like, once I stockpile enough, I've been sending a portion of that over. Like, for a while, it was to the Philly Bailout Fund, just because I was out there protesting too. I was like, I'm gonna need to make sure money's on the books, because I'm protesting too.
I saw somebody post that up. It was Tamika Mowry, and she posted up that they're having a upcoming protest. Actually, today they're having an upcoming protest somewhere, but it's going to be. She was like, disclaimer: if you are afraid to get arrested, if you are afraid to get like injured or any way possible, don't come, because that could be the possibility of what could happen.
Right.
So she put it out there immediately, because I think people are not realizing that it can go south real quick, especially if other people aren't seeing it as a peaceful protest, as you just like you said. People like, this is it, that's all
we doing, and it's just like, no, I'm not about that.
Like, what did you expect to happen? Were we going to be tearing up people's stuff? Were we going to burn in cars? What were we going to be doing? What were we going to be doing?
That vibe
that peaceful.
Exactly. Once you feel that vibe shift, that's when I left. Like, I actually, after that Saturday, I think I tried to go to one more, and just with the energy I felt walking towards it, I turned right back around.
Oh, wow.
Like, nope, today's not my day. And sure enough, it didn't even start off peaceful. This one particular protest started off wicked, and I was like, nah, going with it. So I haven't been out for a while because of that, because I was like, they're doing too much of the violence right now and not enough of the actual protesting. Even the ones that were like supposed to remain peaceful, I'm looking at the situation like, that's not going to end right. Like, there was one where a lot of them went and they blocked off like 76 down, down by I forgot. Like, they started off at City Ave, and then they went down. So they went down by where like the Parkway entrance was to get on 76, like down there. So it was like they blocked off all of that, and they brought in the armor guard. But even when they said where they were going, I was like, you're going to block off 76? I'm not going down there. Like, you're going to block off 76?
Like, how am I going to get out of here?
But that's literally what it was. Like, as soon as they said it, I'm thinking of where they are and how they're getting there. And I'm like, that doesn't seem like you can get out. That seems like a really crazy pit to put yourself in. And sure enough, they get down there. National Guard comes in. There are now trucks blocking you at the bottom, shooting all types of shit at you, all types of tear gas and shit thrown into this mix, and you're down at the bottom. And what's fucked up about it is they didn't even care who they hit, because remember, they blocked off 76. It's mad innocent people in their cars getting the same people that you intended for these protests. You know what I mean? Like, you got everybody, whether they were a part of that or not. And then because they blocked off 76, they had nowhere to go. So they're trying to climb up the walls. A lot of them are getting dragged back down. And then you have it where, like, one of my friends, actually, Natalia was down there.
I gotta talk to her.
Yes, Natalia was down. You definitely need to talk to her, because she just started her, she just launched her line. We are Alpha Females, I think. So she has her whole thing going on. Yeah, I've been trying to follow, but now that I'm working and I'm doing my own business, I can't really key in the way I want to. But yeah, she was down there. So she was talking about it because she got tear gas. And she was saying, like, it was to the point where she couldn't even climb out because of how many people were climbing over her. And she was like, I have to thank the men that literally carried me out of there, because she couldn't get over the wall. No. When I heard where they were going, I was like, nope. Doesn't sound like a place I want to be. Like, you have to use your context clues. Think.
Yeah. And I guess definitely knowing the area is important, because if it was, say, if I decided I want to go, I know nothing about Philly, so I would have just been in that pit, because
but see, as a mother and as someone that looks around their surroundings before you go anywhere, you're too cognitive for that. You would have looked at where you were walking to and been like, where are we stopping? You would have caught on sooner. Where are we stopping? Because if you saw where they walked to, and again, you're blocking 76. We all use 76. If you think of the tunnel, when you go to New York, do you drive or take Megabus?
I drive.
Okay. But it's still probably you're ended up on that same passage if you've ever driven from Philly. But you don't, because you're going from Jersey, right? I can't even explain this passage to you. Jesus. I can't even explain where it is that they were.
No tolls. Huh? I take no tolls.
I try for that sometimes. I found one going, coming back from New York. I think I took a wrong turn somewhere because I was supposed to hit a toll, and ended up on a no tollway coming home from like Brooklyn. And I was like, oh shit. Like, but
I figured it out.
I couldn't find it again. That was the salty part. Because remember, I made, well, you don't remember. I made a wrong turn. Like, that wasn't my original route. I made a wrong turn and ended up on that route. So it's just like, I need to find it again.
So between the protests that you did back in with the women versus the protests of now, what are the differences and what are the similarities? What are you seeing that's different from back then?
The similarities will always be the camaraderie. Like, you're definitely out there for the same cause. You know what I mean? Like, you're out there wanting the same thing. So that will always be a unifying moment for me. The difference was, again, the cause. The difference was indeed the cause. Like, when it came to that women's march, like, I didn't have anything to be sorry for. Like I ended up in the mix of it because I was downtown. So I was like, oh, let me kind of join in and see what we're really protesting about, because I knew it was going on. But then once I'm listening to their personal testimonies, I was like, well, I don't have this guilt. I didn't vote for him. Like I didn't do this. This was y'all. Y'all could have prevented this back when we were in the preliminaries with Bernie, and then y'all left it with Hillary, and then y'all didn't even vote for her. So it was just like, I left that because I joined it late and left it early. I was like, this has nothing to do with me. So even though I was in it, I was like, I support you. I'm glad you came to the light now, but at the same time, you didn't have to put us in this position. You have your own mind. Like if you listen to the women and some of the things that they were saying, it makes me upset that so many people are not independent thinkers. Like a lot of these women were like, well, you know, my husband said, I was like, I'm sorry, was your husband in the booth with you? Was he in the booth with you? Why does it matter what the hell he wants? This is against your values and goals. Why are you piggybacking off your husband's vote? Y'all not voting together. It's not a tag team. The only time somebody should ever see your vote in that little cube is your kids. Like my mom used to take us in there. Right. Like my mom used to take us in there and let us pull the lever. Like, right. Like we used to pull the lever. Like, yay, we voted. Like that was who sees you vote. So even if you know, and then again, you have to question your own morals. And that's where a lot of people are struggling right now. Like if you talk to your white friends and the ones that are having a complex because they, for whatever reason, didn't realize that racism still exists, they have this complex because they have to admit just how privileged and dismissive they've been, you know? So it's like they're sitting there with these blind votes. They're following their husband's votes. And it's like, or you can be an independent thinker and vote for yourself. Why would you vote for someone that doesn't value the same things that you value? You hear this man, the kids are still in cages for ICE. They're still in cages. How do you vote for someone?
How that's even
No adult. First of all, it like blows my mind that we're not trying harder to get them out, because this is an entire generation of people that are going to grow up to be so fucked up. If you really think about it, they're going to be so mean and like heartless and insensitive because, and this is again me projecting, they may be some of the kindest people ever because of what they're going through right now, but you couldn't blame them if they weren't. If they were insensitive towards other people's feelings and emotions, who's being sensitive towards their emotions now? Who's telling them how to deal with their feelings? You have babies in there without their parents. There are children raising children in cages. They don't have adult supervision because of COVID. They're just in there, legit just in cages. And you have them saying, but I'm voting for Trump. Why? But like, seriously, when you have that situation, it's like, why? When you have everything that he's inciting, the words that come out of his mouth, it's like, how do you listen to him? And you're like, that's my president. Make America great again. Stupidity and racism really go hand in hand, and it like blows my mind. Like, okay, so you know how they had the murals all over, right? Like everybody's painting their Black Lives Matter murals. One couple in Chicago decided they want to paint over it. So Black Lives Matter was super big in the street, and instead of painting a black rectangle like a smart person would do to block out the message, they put black over the letters because apparently that black paint matched the asphalt in their eyes.
It didn't.
Stupidity and racism go hand in hand. I was like, you're not going to even, like, I watched her paint the B, and I was like, you're not going to even paint the square? You're just going to follow the letter? So you making yourself mad with each letter. You going to go each letter through Black Lives Matter. Just get more paint. I brought enough paint. Just you pissing yourself off with each letter to make the whole message bold as fuck in black.
Yes.
Only to face them charges on top of it. Like, girl.
I was trying to find out what happened with that.
They're getting the felon charge, I think. They're getting a charge.
Wow.
And it was just like, y'all so smart.
Was it that important?
Y'all so smart. You didn't even do it right.
But I want to make sure that we touch on your jewelry line.
Yes, please.
We're coming to the end.
Yes.
So let everybody know what your jewelry line is, the name of it, and give us a little bit about it.
Okay, so my jewelry line has been pretty much in the works for a while. Huh?
Neck?
It's gilded gems. I'm trying to write it. That is it on my neck. Yes. So that is a clear quartz.
I was like, oh, that must be it. It looks beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I was trying to tag it so you guys can see it there. Yes, this one's a clear quartz that I wrapped on a gold chain. Mm-hmm. I've been playing around with my crystals for a few years. Thank you. Thank you very much. I've been playing around with body jewelry for a few years, like making little things for myself just because I like to make certain things look, but I couldn't find it anywhere or it was too expensive somewhere else. So I was always playing around with different wires and cords and just wearing them. And then the more I got into crystals, the more I started studying them and trying to incorporate it into what I was already doing. So it kind of, then once COVID hit and I had the time to really sit and study and do it, it kind of just started taking off for me because I had all this extra time to just practice and manipulate. And I'm still practicing manipulating. That's why I don't promote as much because it's like, actually, let me try to. So like you'll see my little gem tree if I can flip this. So I call it my little gem tree. So it's like I have all the ones that I've wrapped so far that are, some are already pre-purchased, some are still available for sale because the people never put down their deposits. But it's like they're all little custom orders, like Chumbaba Jasper, Tiger's Eye, Lapis Lazuli, Citrine. Like I have all these different things that I
And you have names for each one?
Those are the names of the stones. Like those are the names of the actual stones, and each crystal has its own property. So as I've been studying those, I've just been getting really, really into them and what they do. So I've been doing those type of crafts for pendants and chokers. I do hair gems. Let me try to see if I have these going. So it's like I've been doing the hair gems for like locks and braids and things. I had some dangly ones. I did have some dangly ones in there, and these are all crystals. So this one's a citrine crystal.
Mommy asked, because I didn't even know that you were doing hair gems.
Yeah.
And until she asked, and I was like, oh, snap.
Right? And then like jasper, aventurine, amethyst, like they're all wrapped up in there. I had some dangly ones too, but I think because I twirled it around, it got like locked in there. So I had some that like dangle like this with like beads and black jasper on it, and all of them have crystals. I decorate incense holders, so I'm crafting all of these, gemming them with crystals too. And like I try to give the descriptions. I try to make sure everything's like there. Everybody listening, you'll get to hear first that I have a giveaway coming up soon. So I'm going to have a raffle / giveaway going on. And again, those proceeds are going to go to a Black Lives Matter cause. I still don't know if it's going to be Philly bailouts again, because that's been my go-to. Because, you know, the link's already set up. It's just like, bloop, send it. But if I find a new one, or if I'm still just going to do that one, I'll let you know which one the proceeds from the raffle are going to go to. Part of the proceeds are going to go to. And that's going to be like something new that I started. I haven't promoted it on my page yet, but I have the keychains. Okay. So this one is like a black tourmaline.
That's nice.
Pendant, right. And again, this can either be, depending on what you request, because I've been doing custom orders, it can be either like a choker pendant or a keychain like this one I made for myself, because black tourmaline is really good for protection. So it's like on my house keys, my car keys, like keep me safe as I go. So I'm going to have a lot of those little things in there. Like I've been playing around with different jewelry, like wire wraps, like this one, ring wraps, and then some mounted rings. So this one I've been playing around with. Like this is a smoky quartz one. One of the ones that's going to be in the raffle giveaway is a rose quartz. So it is going to be a rose quartz basket. Everything is going to be rose quartz related, because the world needs a little love, and rose quartz is like the queen of that, you know. So I have a gold plated rose quartz ring that I made. It's charged. I charge everything too. Like I really need to go into the detail of everything I'm doing for these crystals, because I set so much intention for them, and I haven't been relaying that to my customers, which is it's really not, it's an injustice to you guys, and I feel bad for it. It's a disservice. But it's like I charge these crystals in the sun. I charge them in the moon. They charge with Florida water. They charge with selenite plates. Like I seriously give them all this extra love and attention that I can to make sure that they're supercharged and ready for you when you go out. And then like I try to give you the descriptions of all your pieces. So it's like if you have amethyst, I'm giving you the qualities and properties of amethyst, or your rose quartz, or your citrines. And I'm just trying to get everything out there. And I'm still trying to dabble with just what I want to do. Like when I first started, I bought so many herbs. I'm still kind of playing around and learning the herbs, because it's like I was doing teas. So I've been making like little tea blends for people, little herbal blends, just to see what they like, what they don't. Like all of this is so fun to play with. And now that I have the time to do it, I'm like, I'm just going off with it. So definitely, guys, check out Gilded Gems. I'm still playing around with the name. I know
I
the
like
name's
it.
going to stick,
I like
but I feel like something's missing from it. So I know I'm playing around with the name just a little bit before I officially like stamp it, LLC it. Because once I LLC it, like that's it. It's staying. So I'm still playing around with the name, but I've been tagging everything Gilded Gems, so that's going to stay. And it's fun. Like you'll see over time when I get into more things, what I'll be incorporating and introducing. Because I'm still in the baby steps of those things, I don't want to reveal them just yet. Because it's like until I have it, until it's locked and loaded, licensed, sealed, delivered, like that has to stay under wraps. But it's like I have things coming. There are people that know what I'm talking about already because they're on like my private stories. They've purchased some of them already because I've been selling them already, but because I don't have the real license to do that, I can't. So it's just my jewelry, guys. Like, you know, you got the rings. So, but like the rings I'm gonna do, I have other wire wrap rings. I wish I can find them. Like I've been doing a lot of midi rings that I've sold, but I haven't been tagged yet. So I'm still working on the rings that are like wrapped completely by me and not just mounted. But because I like the midi rings, like I made a lot of these over the fall. And you guys, if you purchase from me, I've been trying to subtly say tag me, but please tag me. Like I feel like the biggest stalker going to my customers' pages, like all of my clients, I've been going to their pages like stealing their pictures because I'm not getting tags. I'm like, I want you guys to see it on people. I've had men ask me, they're like, well, you don't make things for guys. I was like, I do. They just haven't posted it. Like some of my hair gems, like I keep them like the black ones and the silver. Like I keep all the gold for me because I like gold. So that's why it's Gilded Gems to begin with. But with my guys, like I've made some hair pieces for guys. I've made some rings for guys. I've made some incense holders for guys. Like even with like one of these, like this is a custom holder from one of my gentleman customers.
That's very nice.
Right. So he has some Baba Jasper, Adventurine, and Black Jasper on his, and it's all hand painted and everything by me. Right. But like, because he hasn't, I haven't been able to deliver this one yet. You know, they don't see all of the work. So it's like the customers are there. The business is kind of going. I'm just trying to get it out there. And once I'm ready, I'll have my site and everything. Yeah. And figure out my I know. I have so much going. Like if you saw this one bracelet that I made, this one cuff is so dope.
How about that?
Girl, I'm really trying. I'm trying to think of what it was. Yeah, I was in my emotional bag on July 4th. So I made a Juneteenth bracelet for July 4th. But it was like, this one was just a practice cuff just because I was still working with the engraving and everything like that. Like even with the engraving, my handwriting is too pretty for just me. Like my mom made me practice my handwriting all day, every day growing up. So like my cursive is on point. So I've been engraving all these different things, like making sure my handwriting is on point for other products I'm going to release later. Or like some of the custom pieces, like the keys and everything like that. Like it's so much in the works. And now that my job is trying to call me back, just hating on my independent entrepreneur shine. Like I had so much time to like really knock out these projects. And they're like, we want to open our dirty ass gym, so we need to come to work. It's just like, I don't feel safe. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
But well, I've been sitting on my business for a minute. I know we're cutting over, so I will definitely.
I know. So I definitely want. She has rings.
Hi, my cousins are all popping on. Look at all my fam on here.
Look at you. She has rings. She has jewel. She has different types of jewelry. She has necklaces.
Yes, I've made necklaces, chokers. Go to the page at @gilded_gems. I'm going to have some stories coming out throughout the week so you can see exactly what's on there because the photos on the page really don't do it justice. Like I have the necklaces, I have rings. The rings aren't on the page. I have bracelets. So these are some of the bracelets that I've made. Just the things that I can wear every day and still feel protected. Because that's the one thing I really do like about my crystals. I feel like I do take on the energy that they have. So when they're saying like, you know, this is supposed to promote like a clear mind or compassion or calmness or peace, I'm like, you know what, let me get my amethyst before I walk into work today. Like let me, you know, like I try to make sure I have certain things on my crown so I can feel good. So it goes hand in hand, and I try to make sure that I'm giving all of that to you guys. So check the page.
And say your page again.
At Gilded, GILD _gems, GEMS. And I did try to write it in the comments. So if you guys scroll up, you'll see it somewhere in there. And go to the page. Because the raffle is going to be this week. It's probably just going to run through the weekend. And it'll most likely be like $5 for a raffle. I'll do a blind draw. I still haven't decided how many things I want to put in that. It depends on the feedback that you guys give it and if you guys are actually like participating. Because I think I want to have like a rose quartz giveaway and an amethyst giveaway.
Aiesha.
I know.
So reach out. Bye.